definition of coaching is helping people achieve their level of awesomeness.
So let's just talk about, how do we define coaching for people who are new to coaching?
Yeah, I usually like to talk about these three categories of roles that we usually tap into to help distinguish what coaching is and what coaching isn't. And I usually talk about a consultant, a mentor, and a coach as those three things. Consultant is somebody who you hire as an expert and you do what they say because they're the expert, you know. A mentor is somebody who's typically walked a path before you and gives you advice and says, hey, I think you should try this. I think you should do that. So both of those are still very much telling. And, you know, with a mentor, you're more likely to sometimes follow, sometimes not follow, but they're still telling you what to do. But with a coach, it's quite the opposite. We know that the person in front of us has the insights within them, and it's more about providing different lenses to look at the struggles that they're having, the issues that they're struggling with, to help them uncover those insights for themselves so that they can discover the path forward. Something to add, others?
I agree with Chris that, you know, segmenting things in terms of consulting, mentoring, coaching, and you could even add training to that too sometimes, and learning a new skill. I found that most people's experiences have been like kind of an amalgamation of all of those. And so when they come to coaching and they haven't had it before, it can be a challenge. And like Chris said, they know themselves, right? It's within them. And I think there's a lot more creative tension in a coaching relationship that makes people a little uncomfortable. And then the other way that I would add that I kind of help people understand coaching is I'll get a little more information from them first about what their experience has been, what that's felt like for them, because some people have had great experiences, some people maybe not so great experiences. And then that allows me to maybe really delve in and create some analogies for them. So it's a little more visual and visceral for them as they go into that coaching journey.
Nice. The way that I explain coaching, especially, you know, coaching for the county where it's new to a lot of people, and knowing that there's a difference between coaching as like sports coaches, right? That they just physical therapists, that they're also coaching some capacity. But the coaching that we're talking about, it's more on the realm of emotional intelligence. So the way that I like to explain to people is that coaching is the process of having self-critical reflection. And I think I like to say the critical reflection only because all of us have the capability of being self-reflective, of looking back and thinking about the things that you should have done or you could have done or you wish you had done more or had done less of. But critical thinking, critical self-reflection in that process is where we as coaches operate, is where we're holding the space for them to be critical with what was their thought process behind their action. And humans don't really have a lot of time that we give the time and space to analyze on why we behave a certain way, on why we made choices a certain way. And we all have the spots that are unseen within ourselves that sometimes, and most of the time, an objective perspective can really help you achieve peak performance in your decision-making process. And I think that that's really the power of coaching. So really skilled finesse coaches can give the space for people to have self-critical reflection in a very safe and mature way.
And those explanations and definitions, you know, really resonate. And I use a simpler way of telling people that coaching is like, you know, we're doing a dance, like a merengue or something like that. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm guiding you when you need it, and sometimes you are in the process. But at the end of the day, it's your journey, you know, and I'm just here to support you. And I heard that probably from some other coaching program, but I added the merengue part of it because I thought it would be fun, you know. Just
not tango, merengue.
Merengue, no tango.
Definition of coaching is helping people achieve their level of awesomeness.
I'm coaching from the desert. Coaching from the desert. Coaching from the desert. Coaching from the desert. desert. Coaching from the desert.
All right, there we go.